like to pop into your news feed for episode 5 of SFT TV. And today we are going to be talking about something that is quite near and dear to my heart because I've got some personal experience in this hormonal game, and that is fibroids. Believe it or not, roughly 70% of women, 60 to 70% of women by the time that they are age 50 will actually end up getting diagnosed with a fibroid. So if you have been struggling with fibroids whatsoever and are looking to find some natural alternatives and some help, you've come to the right place. So the question is, are you ready? If so, let's do this. Hey everybody, it's Melissa Ramos, nutritionist with a background in Chinese medicine. I'm also the boss babe of Sexy Food Therapy, helping people feel sexy from the inside out by balancing their hormones and their digestion. That is my jam. So right now, what I am doing is I'm doing a bit of a first here, okay? And that is I am doing SFT TV on my Facebook live stream, and I'm on Instagram Live. Hello, Instagram Live people as well. So we are doing this back to back, which is kind of crazy and awesome, but I figure, why the hell not? We're just gonna try it out. So I'm really thrilled about this topic. Can you tell? Only because I have gone through this myself. So if you're listening in, I'm really thrilled to talk about this because my goodness, women do not understand about this, and truthfully, there's really not a lot of options being presented other than a hysterectomy. So I want to first just show up right now and say, first and foremost, tonight, I was supposed to be interviewing one of my favorite people who I have an immense amount of respect for, Natasha Trinev, and she is such a wealth of knowledge. Unfortunately, she had an emergency that she did have to tend to, and so while she is away, she does send all of her love to you guys, and we are definitely going to bring her back to SFT TV because I know that you guys absolutely adore her knowledge, as do I. I love speaking with her and chatting her ear off. So tonight, it's just going to be me, and I'm hoping that's enough. And I'm going to be answering a bunch of questions. So I got a bunch of you guys already saying hello. So hello, Kathy, Sandy, Rainbow Moon, very cool. Elisa, Donna, Kimberly, and a bunch of y'all on Instagram live as well. So we're doing a dual feed, which is crazy pants. So first and foremost, listen, before we actually kick this off, do me a little favor for Melissa here, and please share this. And the reason why is because, as I mentioned, 70% of women by the time they are 50 will end up Instagram. You listening to me? Facebook Live. Literally 70% of women by the time that they're 50 will get a fibroid. So I don't care. I don't care if you have one or if you don't. Actually, I do care. But the point is, share this because women need to hear this info. So if you can do me a favor right now, Facebook Live folks, please share this with your friends and family. Put it on your personal page. I would really super duper appreciate that. Please and thank you. Also, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway as well. You have to stay till the end because I always do a skill testing question. And you have to make sure that you get that right. We are all going to play super nice. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for sharing. Hey, Tara, a bunch of people. So please, please, please share this. So first and foremost, I want to be able to kick this off and let you guys know how I actually know anything about fibroids. And my story is that I had gone, if you guys know my story, actually previous to that, I had an ovarian cyst that had ruptured on my right ovary, and it tore off a piece of my right ovary, and it near almost killed me because I was hemorrhaging internally. Years later passed, and I went back. Thank you, F1, for sharing as well. I appreciate it. Years later, I go back to hospital. And the reason why is because I got really freaked out because I had so much pressure in my reproductive area that I thought, is this a cyst? Like, I think it's a cyst. It feels like a cyst. Is it a cyst? And I went there. Luckily, the radiologist had not left for the evening. So I was able to still catch them. And it's actually quite late in the evening, which is very unusual for hospitals because normally you'd have to wait till the next day to get an ultrasound. So they did the ultrasound, and then afterwards, they came out and the doctor said, clean bill of health. You're fine. It might have been a cyst. We didn't really see anything, and that was it. He said, do you want a copy of your reports? Yes. Rule number 1, always get a copy of your reports. And the reason why that I say this is because of the fact that if you don't get a copy of your reports, you could actually end up running into what I did. Well, I got it, so I knew. Because the next day, I actually drove to go pick up a girlfriend of mine who was coming in from California. And I thought, look in your purse, Melissa. And so I did. And I opened up that report from the ultrasound report, and there it was, 2 fibroids. I had an intramural fibroid and a subserosal fibroid that I never would have known if I didn't look at the report. That is insane. No one told me. So I never would have known had I not have gotten a copy of the report. Big up St. Michael's Hospital here in Toronto for not telling me. And you know what? It's in your best interest to always get a copy of your report. So really, 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 really important. So that's first and foremost, I want to say. The second thing is I want to be able to break down to you a couple of things that we're going to be speaking about today. We're going to be talking about digestive health. We're going to be talking about foods that you can consume, that you should be consuming, things you should be removing out of your diet. And also I'm going to be talking about something you can actually apply on your lower belly so that it can actually help a lot of the pressure and the pain. Because the reality is, women who have fibroids, sometimes it can be asymptomatic and they actually never even feel them. And when I say asymptomatic, I mean so much that they're not feeling the pain. But they might actually get other symptoms like pressure in the lower abdomen. They might experience heavy bleeding, which was me. Never knew that I had fibroids, but my mother actually had a history of fibroids, and that certainly can up your chances if there is, a family history of it as well. And so those are some big ones as well. But yeah, so pressure, pain, even having a bowel movement, you can experience some pressure as well, even when you're going to pee, or you might feel like you have to urinate more often. Those are all things that can actually end up happening as a result. And if you have a fibroid, you probably already know this because you may be experiencing one of those symptoms. So if anybody here has any fibroids whatsoever, please drop it down like it's hot below and let me know. Do you have any experience with fibroids whatsoever? Have you been suffering with them? If so, what kind of fibroid do you have? Do you know what kind of fibroid you have? Also, I want to be able to ask you if you know what size it is. Mine weren't super huge, but they certainly were at least large enough for me to feel them. So Chelsea says, struggling with this right now. Hey, Kim Black. Hello, Lori. Diane Smith-Stewart says, me. So I'm seeing a bunch of ballers on the line. And just for those of you guys who don't know, we actually reopened Sexy Lady Balls. Brand new and improved. If you haven't seen so, the link is actually up above in the description of this Facebook fan page post. Up above. If you're watching on Instagram, go check me out on Facebook to get that link. Okay. Wow. Okay. So one woman says here, over 20 centimeters big, removed it a few years ago. I was 33. Sarah says, I do. I have large size clusters of them. Jennifer says, I have a huge subserosal fibroid, 12 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 7 centimeters. Just looking into this now, says Trish. And hello, Dylan Ross. How are you? So great to see some friendly faces. So most definitely, there are different kinds of fibroids that I really want to break down for you guys. So I'm just going to look at some of, I wrote a bunch of notes here, but first and foremost, there are intramural fibroids. An intramural tends to be the most common, and this is one of the ones that I have because you can actually have a combination of different kinds of fibroids, which a lot of people don't realize, but you can have different kinds of them. So I had an intramural. And that actually grows in the wall of the uterus. And then I also had a subserosal fibroid, and those actually grow outside of the uterus. And they tend to cause, these are the ones that tend to cause pain because they grow outside, they create pressure, and that actually can definitely happen. So I don't know if anyone has an intramural or a subserosal. Abd says the surgery was intense for her and she still has 3 remaining. Wow. Hey, Sandra. She says she has an intramural at 7 to 8 centimeters. Hi, Laura. Shannon says, I do. It's grown a bit. I've had one bad flare-up. So for me specifically, I definitely had, I felt them. And it was a weird pressure. And one of the things that I want to be able to speak to you guys about today is something you can do topically. But before we get there, I want to list some of the other ones. So you definitely have a submucosal. And this essentially can grow underneath the uterine lining, okay? And that one actually is the one, also as an intramural, can cause heavy bleeding. And that submucosal one can actually begin to create some serious complications. So it depends on which fibroid you have and, you know, the outcome of it based on where it's located. Then there is this one that's called the pedunculated. It's kind of fun to say, not great to have. Pedunculated fibroid. And that actually grows on these like small stalks, these pedunculated fibroids. So those are the main ones that we're going to be chatting about today. I've got a bunch of people on Instagram Live saying, I think I do, but I haven't gone for testing. I don't know much about it. Definitely go in for a transvaginal ultrasound. So that is one way that you guys can test it, is actually by getting it on a transvaginal ultrasound. So Dragonfly71 says she has both, and can a regular ultrasound show it? It's a great question. So no, a regular ultrasound cannot show it because they go outside on your belly. When they have a lot of pressure and you're not supposed to pee, you're supposed to drink lots of fluids, it has to be the transvaginal, which is kind of invasive because it feels like they're putting a condom on a dildo. Not exactly great. And if you've had one of these, you will know that it's not exactly a fun experience. So definitely something I would say is not the best, but if you have one, you should definitely get it monitored every 3 to 6 months. So our comments here are lighting up. So FNO1 says she has large fibroids, 10 centimeters. They're pain-free, but pressures on her bladder. So most definitely we have a lot of women. And I know that the thing about testing with a transvaginal ultrasound is that they're incredibly invasive. And I remember the first time I ever had a transvaginal ultrasound was when I was had my very first cyst. And I just thought to myself that it was so violating. And I think that if you're listening in, you probably can relate to me because there's no compassion, no empathy, no support from the radiologist. They have to be stone cold and stoic. And I understand that from their perspective, but it's really hard as a patient. So if you've gone through that, consider this me giving you compassion and understanding because I know it and I've been there. So really, really, really hard. Chelsea goes, just go into your happy place. I love my tribe. I really do. Okay, so I want to go through a couple of things that I find really interesting about fibroids. The first and foremost is that exercise. I know we're all like, you know, I would grab my phone, but I have all my devices on right now, which is like really crazy because there's like 5 Melissas in one. Nobody needs 5 Melissas, nobody at all. So at any rate, you know when you want to work out, anyone ever procrastinate and go on social media? It's like almost like you're trying to find every single excuse not to work out. But here is the thing. Exercise, in one study, those who actually exercised 7 hours a week had significantly fewer fibroids than those who only exercised a couple of times a week, which is pretty crazy, which is pretty insane. Now, that you would be like, wait, that means I have to exercise an hour a day? I know it seems a little excessive. For me personally, when I think of that. What I always say to my women with my ballers and sexy lady balls is you got to kind of reposition working out, okay? Think of it more like movement, all right? So movement in the sense that it doesn't have to be you running, doing HIIT trainings, or anything crazy like that. It could literally you going for a brisk walk with your dog. That could be counted as exercise. Get movement, sweat, which is huge. Nabila says, would you develop fibroids if you have PCOS? Yes, you can actually have multiple symptoms. So I certainly have seen women who have had PCOS and fibroids, and today I'm actually going to be showing you a very quick 2-minute video of one of our ballers from Sexy Lady Balls, Angela. And she actually had PCOS, diagnosed with PCOS, and had 2 fibroids. And her story is absolutely phenomenal. So I do want to be able to say from a food perspective, it's super duper important that you ditch the dairy. Really important, guys, ditch the dairy. And the reason why that I'm saying this is because dairy is a mucus forming food. From Chinese medicine standpoint, it can create dampness. And fibroids, according to Chinese medicine, is dampness essentially congealed into phlegm, which I know doesn't exactly sound very beautiful. But the reality is that any damp-forming foods are going to impact the digestive system substantially. And that's the reason why that I say to remove it. We want to make sure we clean up the diet as much as possible, get the gluten out of there, get the dairy out of there. And that's when you want to add in a really damn good probiotics. And I just have to reach for these real quick because I have them here. But this is what happens when you got way too much stuff on your desk. Way too much stuff. But seriously, the best probiotics on the freaking market. It is not about quantity. It's about quality. And these are the only probiotics that I have seen that pass European standards, which are much higher than North America, and they're the only probiotics in North America that do. Probiotics are essential for hormonal health. I can't stress that enough. So if you want to get Natrin, go to natrin.com. If you are in the UK, feel free to let me know in the comments, and when this live stream is over, I can send you the link as to where to purchase in the UK. So really, really, really darn important that you add probiotics in. And the reason why is because if you have a gut disturbance because that the bacteria, you have more bad bacteria in there than good bacteria, the problem that's going to end up happening in that regard is that they're going to take over the system. And we are 90% bacteria than we are human cells. I don't know if that's crazy to you, but that's pretty darn freaking nuts to me. And I will say this right now, that it is absolutely crucial, because if you don't have good bacteria, and say, for example, you are constipated, probiotics like Natrin, Healthy Start System, like this is where I always recommend everyone. I've even got people right now on my Instagram Live who are just saying, Natrin Trinity, yeah. So whether it's Natrin Healthy Trinity or Healthy Start System, both are absolutely phenomenal. So I strongly would suggest that, because you want to get some bowel regularity as well today, or as well today and tomorrow and the next week. So incredibly important. And as I mentioned, if you end up having a lot of bad bacteria and you take, say for example, your probiotics, okay? You take the probiotics and you start to feel bloated. Quite often, people will say to me like, oh, I'm feeling bloated, I don't know if I should be taking this. But the reality is that when you end up taking probiotics, sometimes there can be a detox reaction. And that's really, really, really important to understand. So I want to be able to stress the importance of improving estrogen elimination. And we can be able to do that with probiotics. But probiotics are absolutely needed because they help the entire digestive system, and the liver is a part of that. So when people are thinking about fibroids, they're thinking, well, how do I solve this from a natural perspective? Well, it comes down to several things. You know, one of it is you have to make sure that you lower the amount of estrogen in the system. Number 2, we have to boost progesterone. And number 3, we have to make sure that we really take care of the root of this all, which is the digestive system and stress. Because the two, stress and digestion, go hand in hand. I mean, when's the last time, and I'm talking to you as well, Insta Story, or Instagram Live, yeah? When's the last time that you were stressed and you ate a salad? You didn't. So hands down, people are generally eating way too much carbs. And that is a big one. So I want to be able to just put that out there as much as possible, that probiotics are the number one thing. Taking care of your liver. From a food perspective, I want to be able to sort of bring this out because this is actually one of my favorite things. I don't know if you guys do this. If you guys do this, please let me know. But collard greens, I love these, grew up with these. But what I end up doing is I'll take one of these leaves here. Not going to eat it on camera, not like this, no. Is I end up steaming it lightly. And then I actually use these for wraps. Now you see, cruciferous vegetables are very high in something called indole 3-carbinol, which is amazing to remove bad estrogens. Phenomenal to remove bad estrogens. So this is incredibly important, is to really boost up the amount of vegetables. Because if you're someone who's just eating like carbs, you're going to just raise your insulin levels. And your insulin is your fat storage hormone. And when people who are more overweight are more predisposed to actually getting fibroids than those who are thinner. So you're increasing your chances by being overweight. So you want to make sure you lower that amount of carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates. Like, I mean, vegetables are carbohydrates too. Okay, don't forget that. But the reality is that if you're consuming lots of complex carbs, not great at all. Okay. Okay, I'm just looking over here. What about an alternative to natron? To be completely honest with you, I haven't found an alternative to natron that actually stacked up with the quality of theirs. So for me, as FNO1 just said here, they're the best. Okay, are grains damp-forming foods? It's a really good question. And yes, FNO1, grains are damp-forming foods according to Chinese medicine. Foods that actually help to just cut that dampness, believe it or not, a wonderful vegetable, are radishes. Radishes are excellent to cut away at dampness. Supplements like E3 Live, which is that blue-green algae, also amazing for dampness as well. And it's so rich in chlorophyll, which is needed because if you've got fibroids, the chances are you might be bleeding a lot. I know that was the case for me. Anybody here? Any bleeders here? Like, at all? Any bleeders here? Because I will tell you, I swear to God, I thought someone was dying at once a month. And I know that might be graphic for some people, but we're all ladies here, so who cares? Dampness, what do you mean? Okay, let me explain what dampness is. I got a bunch of people who are saying yes. Okay, so dampness. You put food like dairy, sugar, anything that breaks down to sugar, breads, pastas, alcohol, another one. Do you know even, I'll get to coffee in a second because I'm going to go on a tangent, but those types of foods, when you put them into the digestive system, they don't digest well. So what ends up happening is you put these in the gears of the digestive system. This is the best way I can describe it. And what I call, figuratively speaking, is gunk builds up. In other words, in Chinese medicine, we say that's dampness. And it slows down those digestive gears so that your digestion isn't really working as optimally as it should. And dampness accumulates. And that can affect and permeate into the whole body, including fibroids, cysts, endometriosis. These are all considered in Chinese medicine damp-forming foods. Hang out my buddy ears. So that's what that is. But we've got some heavy bleeders here, big time. We got a bleeder, says Chelsea Marchand. Absolutely. Okay. Christina says, earlier today you said no soy. I have low estradiol. What foods do you recommend to help to boost that? So I don't recommend soy. Soy is very heavily processed. If you're somebody who has low estrogen, so low estrone, estradiol, you could have some phytoestrogens like flax, even fermented types of soy. But for this discussion specifically, you want to be able to avoid those. There is this school of thought that phytoestrogens help to flood the estrogen receptors and help to kick out a lot of those bad estrogens. But I haven't seen any massive conclusive data to substantiate that. And truthfully, since I've been working in practice with this, women who've been eating soy and have had fibroids or endo or cysts have actually gotten worse. So for me, personally, professionally, not something I would recommend whatsoever at all. All right. Coffee. Believe it or not, drinking more than 2 cups of coffee a day may boost estrogen levels in women and could worsen conditions with a hormonal basis like fibroids. 2 cups of coffee. And I know there's going to be people out there that's going to go, but I only have 1 cup of coffee. But here is the bag. If you are super stressed, anyone here chronically stressed? Because I'm sure that there's quite a few people. Chronic stress will really, really mess up your hormones, because once your adrenals begin to fail, the entire hormonal system goes with it. That's a big one. A bunch of people are saying yes, they're stressed. Does maca make estrogen worse, or does it help lower estrogen? Asks Colette. Okay, so maca, believe it or not, there's actually no concrete studies, and I actually have the link that when we're done this live stream, I'll attach it for you, Colette, all about maca and all the studies done and its effects on hormones. Really, really, really interesting stuff. Super easy to get through. So those are really the big ones in terms of foods. From a supplement perspective, we've already mentioned probiotics. Fish oils, absolutely, it's an anti-inflammatory. And one of the things that I want to bring up is something to do topically, and that is castor oil. I wish that labels showed up well on this. Can you see this? Oh, wait. Instagram can see it. Facebook Live. Oh, wait. There we go. Yes. All right. So this is phenomenal because you can use it on different parts of your body. Not like that. And all joking aside, you can, what I generally suggest people to do is you can either put it on your liver. If you don't know where your liver is, let me just show you. So right over here, can you see? So if everyone just puts their hands below their boobs, just for a second. So your liver is right here, okay? Right under that right rib cage. I got a bunch of people giving thumbs up. I'm assuming it's because you like my dress, yeah? But that's where your liver is. So what I generally do, because old school would say to soak a flannel pack. I don't got a flannel pack. That's okay. And then what they would do is they would soak it with castor oil. They would put it on. Then they'd wrap the body with plastic wrap. And then after wrapping the body with plastic wrap, some people would even put like a garbage bag over top. It was insane. I was like, it's like you're packing me for like groceries or something, or to preserve me of some sort. It's ridiculous. I'm like, who would do this, right? Anybody else do that? Have ever like wrapped themselves with a plastic? Which is crazy. Oh, Jessica's asking about calcium D-glucarate. Yes, an amazing cellular detoxifier. A great addition as well. Yeah, so the bottle again, castor oil. See? It's by St. Francis. Can you see the label? Nope. Okay. There you go, Instagram. Okay, so here's a couple of rules of thumb about castor oil. Number 1, dark glass bottle. Has to be glass. Please do not buy oil, any oil. I don't care if it's oil for your coffee or oil for anything. Oil is lipophilic. So what it does is it will end up pulling the plastic, all the foreign estrogens in that plastic. That's a big no-no because you want to stay away from plastics. What you're going to do is you're going to end up soaking. I do a rag, so I've got a rag here. Soak this bad boy, and you're going to put it in the area, your lower regions, your lower regions, and you're going to soak that, and you're going to put that on, and then all you have to do then is get a trusty hot water bottle, and you're going to put that over top. Even a heating pad will work as well, okay? So when you do this, what it's doing is it's increasing circulation. I just had somebody on Instagram say, why well, you know, you're gonna actually gonna bleed more if you do that. And the thing is that I would suggest not doing a castor oil, A, when you're on your period, B, a week before your period, because yes, you are going to end up bleeding more, but you have to try to increase circulation to help to shrink the fibroid. I had someone said, why dark glass? Dark glass is because, so it doesn't oxidize. It actually helps to protect the quality of the oil. And why glass? Because of the fact, as I said, it can be lipophilic. It can actually pull the estrogens from the plastic. Even coconut oil, yes, it's an oil. So when I see plastic oils in plastic containers, and people are like, this oil is the best oil. And I'm like, if it's so great, then why is it in a plastic bottle? Right? All right. So those are really, really, really big ones. So yes, you put the rag, and Laura says the flannel needs to be organic so no bleaches or dyes are absorbed in the body. Very good point. Now I use a rag, an old rag that I've had for a while. It's been washed 1,000 times. I end up soaking this bad boy and I put it on. I kind of laugh because I have somebody on Facebook who said, and I'm just going to pull it up here. I'm going to miss it now. Oh yeah, Sandra says here, I wrapped myself after you said so. Yeah, see? People wrap themselves with plastic. I think it's hysterical. What if you have amenorrhea? So for those of you guys who have amenorrhea, that's the absence of having a period. I'll probably end up doing an entire live stream on that as well, because that's a whole different topic, right? Right, Instagram? And thank you so much for all the love, Instagram. How many times do you recommend reusing a castor oil pack? I use it quite often, to be honest with you. I probably would suggest, if you're going to do this method, to do this about 3 times a week. And truthfully, when I did it when I had fibroids, the pain of the pressure really helped to subside, because that was my biggest thing. I felt it in my groin area, almost down my leg. It was just radiating down my leg, which sucked. And I will do a topic on amenorrhea, because we're getting people who are asking me to do that. Is a big one. Ha! Now I feel badly for having a glass of wine right now. Don't feel badly for having a glass of wine. So speaking of alcohol, if you have a hormonal issue, lay off the booze. Lay off the hooch a little bit, okay, ladies? And the only reason why that I say that is because it's really important, because alcohol actually can promote the raise of estrogen. So you really want to concentrate on green foods. They're very rich in vitamin K, when the vitamin K2 actually helps with blood clotting, which is important when you've got fibroids, because we have a bleeder. We got several of them, or many of them, if you've got fibroids. Some people don't always bleed a lot, but other women do. Can you do this for areas where you have endo pain? Yes. So that's a question from Holistic Jazz on Instagram Live, which is awesome. Do you wash the flannel after every use? I don't. I actually probably wash it after every couple of uses. I'll wash it. Can fibroids cause pain during intercourse? Asks Courtney Kodig. Yes, it actually can cause pain during intercourse. And I know that one woman had mentioned, is it dangerous or bad if you get pregnant? Is there any problems with that? The thing is that fibroids, unlike things like PCOS or endo, are not necessarily an obstacle necessarily for you to get pregnant, unless it's blocking the fallopian tubes. Then in that case, yes, it can cause an issue. But fibroids can cause the baby to be in an abnormal position, which may cause preterm labor. So that can be a fact. And it also can cause a lot of pelvic pain and leading to heavy bleeding after delivery, essentially. And as I said, it can block the fallopian tubes. So there are things that it can do that can actually prevent pregnancy for sure. Absolutely. The other area that I suggest that women do the castor oil pack, even if you got fibroids. So we said liver is one area, okay? And the other one is your lower lady bits, okay? So your lower reproductive area. Stimulating that circulation, that flow, and also on your liver, because remember, liver health is important. It's the reason why things like probiotics are really important, because of the fact that we need to make sure that our digestive system is on point. A lot of our toxins get dumped into the hepatic portal, and it can cause a lot of issues in the body. The thing that we have to really understand is that if you are on something like birth control, anyone here on birth control, Instagram, let me know if you're on birth control. Facebook, let me know. We are like, look at, I'm going to just show you guys. Like, we got this going on. We got this going on. There's way too many Melissas right now in my world. Way too many. Okay. All right. And you would do the castor oil pack for about an hour. I should have mentioned that. So anybody here, but the birth control pill, anybody on the birth control pill. So Holly's I'm little feather. Yes, on birth control. Wish I wasn't. Okay, so several people are on birth control. Antidepressants. I don't know how many people are gonna. If you are comfortable sharing that you're on antidepressants, please say yes. But either way, antidepressants, birth control pill, antibiotics as well, not only rob good, happy, friendly flora, but it also ends up robbing a lot of your B vitamins, especially vitamin B6, which is your mood regulating vitamin. Now, B vitamins are incredibly important that are needed for the health of your liver. It helps with detoxification. Your liver has 2 phases of detoxification, phase 1 and phase 2. And if you end up having a lot of congestion and you're taking these medications, you're impairing some of the liver detoxification that is happening, which is a no good, okay? So really, really, really important. So antibiotics, birth control pill, antidepressants all rob the body of vitamin Bs. Don't go out to Costco and buy yourself a B complex. The 2 that I like, I have no affiliation to these companies, but AOR makes a really good one in Canada. Thorne makes a really good one as well. You can get that in the US. You can also get that in Canada as well, but they actually have the methylated forms of the B vitamins, which is really important because if you have the gene mutation, you need to make sure that you're taking the right kind of B vitamins that your body can absorb, can utilize, and to help with that liver detoxification. Diana says, was on antidepressants all my adult life. So if you have been recently on those medications and are off them, go get some B vitamins. Really important for the health of your liver. Because remember, it's important that we get some excretion of those estrogens. 90 million Americans, and I'm pretty darn sure that my Canadian friends are not exempt from this, have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And where is that from? Sugar. Breads, pastas, all that junk, and it really congests the liver. And we need a healthy and happy liver. Thorne multivitamins, okay. Enough B vitamins? No. You need to get the actual, they have a basic B complex is the one that I get from Thorne. So those are really the big ones. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys a skill testing question right now. And actually, you know what? No, I'm going to change this up for a second. Before we do a giveaway, I actually want to show you, to give you guys a little bit of hope when it comes to fibroids, cysts, that they can be remedied naturally. So Sexy Lady Balls just launched. The link is up above. I know on Instagram Live you're looking at me going, where, Melissa? But I actually will change the link in my bio so that if you guys do want to join Sexy Lady Balls, you can go click on that link in that bio. If you're watching me on Facebook right now, then the link is in this post, okay? And I want to show you guys a testimonial from Angela, and she literally kicked butt. So listen to her story. It's less than 2 minutes. Here we go.
My relationship with food really had a negative control on my life. So much.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to go back on because that is the long one, and you definitely don't want to see the long one because it's going to be way too long. It's like 12 minutes long. So I'm just going to bring this back over here, and we will get to that in just a second. So rewind that shiz. I know on Instagram you're probably like, but wait, I want to see what you're talking about. What is it? But I will get to it, I promise. At any rate, let's do that skill testing question right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be giving away a bottle. A bottle of castor oil. Okay? Castor oil. I'll actually give out 2 bottles of castor oil. So I need to make sure that you guys get this skill testing question right. All right? So first and foremost, before we actually get to this, I want you guys to do this. You need to share this. Share this live stream right now, and make sure that you share this so that we can get started on this. So if you can share this right now, we can get started. And I can see when you guys share. Don't think that I can't. So make sure that you share this as I get the rest of this uploaded right now. All right. All right, here we go. Everybody shared. I'm seeing Colette saying she shared. Laura, Jessica, Instagram is going, I don't know how to share this. Don't worry about it, Instagram. Hang tight, Instagram. Hang tight. Hang tight. It's all good. And I know that my little screen is shaking. Just give me 2 shakes here. All right. Okay. There we go. As that is going. Okay, Kim has shared. Anita. Don't worry, don't share on Instagram. It's okay. Don't worry, don't freak out. Instagram's like, wait, how do I share this? I don't get it. It's all good. I promise. Everyone on Instagram is freaking out. Okay, so a bunch of people have shared on Instagram, which is freaking straight up awesome. So the question is this. I want to ask you guys, what is, and if you've got fibroids and you can't answer this question, I'm going to be like, come on now. People are saying thank you so much. All right, so what is the most common, I'm going to give 1 bottle to someone on Instagram. I'm going to give 1 bottle to somebody on Facebook. I think that's actually, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. So what is the most, there we go, the most common, not most popular, but the most common type of fibroid? What is the most common type of fibroid? If you can let me know right now. We got a winner on Facebook already. We got it, and I need the full one. Okay, we got a winner on, because someone wrote it halfway. So we got winners already. So everybody, the winner is on Facebook. We have Sandra Guzman, and we have the Curious Coconut. So we have 2 winners, and someone did write intra on Facebook, on Instagram stories, and I want to be able to give it to you, but I can't because it wasn't the full name. Okay? So I'm hoping that's cool. Don't get mad. All right. So intramural, that went to Sandra Guzman and the Curious Coconut. So if you right now are watching, and I want you to be able to just give these ladies a round of applause, say, congratulations, let's give some ladies love. So because sometimes people get really mad at me, and I'm like, guys, it's just a bottle of product. No baby llamas are dying. It's okay. Don't freak out and panic. But at any rate, let's just say congratulations to Sandra. Congratulations to the Curious Coconut. So do me a favor, for those guys who won, can you please make sure that you email my assistant. Email assistant, so assistant, no S at the end of it, assistant at sexyfoodtherapy.com. Okay? So assistant at sexyfoodtherapy.com. com. Please make sure that you and thank you all the ladies who are giving them love. We are ladies. We gotta bind together, lift each other up. So I love the fact that you guys are doing that and congratulating them, because that is huge. It's the hormonal imbalances, says someone on Instagram. Victor of Storms on Instagram Live says it's the hormone imbalances. Trust me, I know. So those are the big ones. Anyways, so guys, I want to be able to tell you a little bit about Sexy Lady Balls. We've got a lot of ballers who are in Sexy Lady Balls who freaking love it. It is a community, it's a tribe, it's a group of warrior sisters, and I absolutely freaking love it. This is my baby. I'm writing a book off this program. It's a membership group, and I absolutely love it. So if on Instagram stories, or sorry, Instagram Live or on Facebook, if you can please, if there's any ballers on either one, I know that there are some on the Facebook one, but if you can just let us know like one word to describe Sexy Lady Balls, please drop it down in the comments like it's hot. I would really super duper appreciate that. That would be phenomenal, because it is literally, in my opinion, a life-changing program. Erica Savage says, yes, SLB is amazing. Sandra says, love SLB. SLB stands for Sexy Lady Balls, so you guys know. But what we have is we have obviously recipes. We have supplement help there as well. So much coaching. And to be honest with you, I really have been saying this for a very long time, but I feel that the number one area that women are missing in the hormonal picture, that a lot of practitioners aren't addressing, that a lot of women aren't addressing, is the mindset portion. And the reason why that I say that is because the majority of women who come to see me in practice are like holding a bunch of supplements. They got a supplement graveyard probably in their kitchen. They're like, I don't understand why I'm not getting better. What's wrong with me? And you think to yourself, what's wrong is that you think that the answer is in the supplement. But how are your boundaries? How, are you saying no? Are you saying no where you're saying constantly yes? How many of you guys are giving and giving and giving and giving? Cindy says it's a blessing, which is awesome. Thank you so much, Cindy. That's super sweet of you to say. Learned a lot from SLB, says Dragonfly. Awesome. And it's huge. It's really, really, really darn important that we create boundaries, that we learn to say no, that we ask for help. We do a lot of mindset work in the program, because if your mindset isn't on par, then you are going to consistently self-sabotage yourself and fall off the bandwagon. And when that happens, and this isn't something that like overnight, it's perfect and you're all good. Like, I get that. But the reality is women who are consistently falling off the bandwagon, why isn't this working for me? Because this hasn't changed at all. At all. Anybody here has sisterhood, says Sandra, which is awesome. Anybody here can relate at all with not setting proper boundaries? Because I know for a fact that that is a huge one for a lot of women, is not setting proper boundaries, not giving enough to themselves. Self-care, ladies, we suck at self-care. So I'm going to get back to this video that I've been trying to show you guys. I finally have it all loaded up here. And I know on Instagram you can't see this live, so make sure you come check us out on Facebook. But here is Angela's story. It's about less than 2 minutes, and it is incredibly inspiring. Here we go. I'm telling you, I'm failing at this today, guys. I'm failing at this today. Jeez Louise. All right, let me see if I can try this one more freaking time. Yeah, it's not loving me today. All right, that's totally fine. I want to make sure that we kind of get this rolling and rocking. But yeah, I'm going to actually put this up here, is the link to Sexy Lady Balls. But again, it's up above. I wish I could show you guys this. It's so good. It's so good. And I couldn't. Darn it. That really blows. Oh well. All good. All good. Anyway. Post it another time. No worries, Melissa. I know they're like, Melissa, it's okay. It's totally fine. I'm just like, no, it's not fine. All right. Oh, you know what? I know what to do. I know what to do. I'm going to do it anyways. You know why? Because we're just going to have patience with Melissa for 2 seconds. Because I'm so freaking determined to do this. So freaking determined. All right. Monitor. Window. There we go. Okay. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Select region. All right, guys. I know, Instagram. I'm going to put you over here. Sorry. Here we go. And we are rocking and rolling in 3, 2, 1. And I don't care. I want to see this. I want to show you guys. Okay, here we go.
There were multiple cysts on both ovaries. They were very small, but oftentimes my ovaries would appear on ultrasounds very large. As a result, I would miss my period 3 or 4 times a year, sometimes for months. I remember in university there was a couple of years where I only had it once or twice. On 37th day of my journey on Sexy Lady Balls, I went for an ultrasound and got the results a couple days later, and for the first time in the entire time they'd ever been checked in 20 years, my ovaries were normal. And the gynecologist also said there was significant shrinkage of the fibroid that I had had. After 37 days, the cysts on my ovaries were gone. And I no longer had that symptom of PCOS. After that, my monthly cycle became more normal and more regular than I had actually ever known in my adult life. I have also had some problems with facial hair, and that has really diminished. The esthetician who works with me has noticed an incredible difference, how much it's thinned and how much our regular treatment is really being, like, the treatments went from having to be like almost once a week to being like once a month. In the first 3 months on this program, I lost 35 pounds. And then went on to lose another 30 pounds over the course of my journey. One of the other symptoms I had of PCOS, and it's also a symptom of blood sugar issues, is having dark patches. I had some sort of like facial stuff, like spots, I guess, like on my face, like a mask across here, and then anywhere where my skin like folds, like in my elbows, behind my knees, and those have also disappeared.
I mean, did you have a tissue? Because phenomenal. This literally is what Sexy Lady Balls is about. And that is just one of the many testimonials that we shot that were absolutely incredible. These women are phenomenal and they are so encouraging. If you guys love that and you're on Facebook or you are on Instagram watching me right now live, please give me some hearts to show some love, because that girl, Angela, just rocked the house, and let's just give her a ton of love. So just start giving me some hearts right now. And if you want to become, I got goosies. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Tears in solidarity. Oh, I love it. Awesome. Wow, everybody. Thank you so much for all the love. I really, really appreciate that, because these women rock it, and it's the women who do the work, the women who are committed to it. So if you want to become a baller right now, I posted the link right here below on Facebook. If you're on Instagram and you want to get on and become a baller, I will put that link in my bio right after this live stream, so hang tight. And if you're watching on Facebook and you can't click this link right here because it's on the image, check the link above in the post, and you can actually join right now, because right now we are doing a special offer. You can get the first 3 months of being a baller for $297 for the first 3 months. And then after, you get automatically billed $57 a month. I mean, you can stop the billing at that point, so you don't get billed when that happens, and you could opt out, but you have to be in the program for the first 3 months, which is $297. This is a really big deal, because by Friday at 11 p.m., that price is shooting up to $397. Okay? So you have from now until 11 p.m. tomorrow, and I want to make sure that you guys get in on this like ASAP. Save some money. Get the $297 rate for 3 months. You don't even have to worry about it. You jump in, you dive in, and you meet some incredible, incredible women. Trish says play the 12-minute one. If you actually go, speaking of which, Trish, if you go to that link above in the description for the baller, for Sexy Lady Balls, I should say, you actually can see all the testimonials we did, including Angela's full 12-minute video where she describes her entire journey. We have testimonials with Gretchen and Kim, Lisa and Veronica, and they're gorgeous videos and so inspirational. So go check out their stories. And there's so many more that are there of women who've just absolutely changed their lives. So right now, again, $297, and then that is going to be jumping up at 11 p.m. tomorrow evening to $397. And then you get billed $57 a month because it is a membership. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. For those of you guys who won the castor oil, make sure that you email my assistant, let her know, make sure you give her your address, and then we can send one off to you. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Sending male solidarity for all the females. Thank you so much, Dylan. So yes, thank you guys so much for this evening. Thank you, Instagram Live. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you to everybody watching in. Thank you for sharing this, and I really, really appreciate all your time for sitting in, and hope you guys learned a bunch. And I will talk to you guys soon, and I hope you can join us at Sexy Lady Balls. So go check out the Sexy Lady Balls page right now. That is, the link is in the post, and it'll be on my in my Instagram bio in literally like 2 minutes after this live stream. All right? Okay? All right. I'm looking at all these places. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, everybody.